The biggest question that many have been asking for the longest time is why isn't there more African-American coaches in the NFL compared to the 2 or 3 that we normally have per season? Guys, I'm going to tell you why it's happening. And it has to do with how some of these coaches are going into the meetings and they're doing their negotiations. But not only that, there's one little small key component that nobody's paying attention to. And we're going to get into that right after this. Oh my God, wait a minute. I do apologize. How could I have been so rude? I forgot to welcome everybody back to Tomorrow League Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, hey, don't forget, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you get all upcoming videos that we post. Guys, I've been putting them up there for you. I'm trying to give you this heat, so I need y'all to go ahead and click that notification bell so you make sure you get everything. Guys, also you can follow us on social media. The links are listed down below. Guys, hey, if you a athlete that's looking for some help with recruiting, hey, follow us on social media. I got stuff up there for tryouts that's going on within the next couple of days, so you might want to get on that information as well. But guys, hey, without further ado, we just going to go ahead and talk about it. The ongoing saga of why isn't there more than right now. Currently, there's 3 head coaches that will be at the helm of their teams come this fall when the NFL football season starts back. And I'm gonna give you a rundown on the 3 that's there right now. You got Brian Flores that's with Miami. You got Mike Tomlin with Pittsburgh Steelers, and you got the new head coach David Culley that was hired with the Houston Texans. Now, yes, we can say we got 3 African-American. We have 3 African-American general managers that are now in the NFL as well. But guys, I get it. You saying, come on, coach, what's the deal with why aren't the coaches being put in, why aren't there more African-American coaches being put in place to be head coaches over teams? Do you really want to know why? Let me give you 2 things. Number 1, the first thing is the people that the organizations are hiring in the higher up spots to be the presidents, the general managers, the vice presidents. I'm going to use this one team for an example because they seem to stand out the loudest and the biggest right now. They love doing things big in Texas. So I'm going to start with the Houston Texans. And with the Houston Texans, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. They hired the chaplain. The chaplain of the team is now the vice president of operations there over that organization. Now, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. This is no slight on the chaplain. I'm just simply saying these organizations continuously keep putting people in place that don't have an understanding of how to run an organization from the standpoint of the day-to-day operations, putting the key individuals in place for them to be able to get in there and get the players that they need to make their teams a contender. Also balance the checkbook, not get so far outside themselves where they're paying a bunch of money for a whole bunch of whatever and they're not getting anything back on return. We've seen that many times already where a lot of these guys have gotten contracts, big contracts that they should have never received. But because how the market is set, and look forward to that video, I'm going to talk about that too, because Dan Orlovsky, I've had enough of hearing from this guy talk about who's a good quarterback and who's a great quarterback, who should be paid and who shouldn't be paid. That's a bunch of bull jive, but I'm going to get on that one later. But yes, guys, this is the thing. We already know Deshaun Watson wanted Eric Bieniemy as the head coach of the Houston Texans, right? Okay, Eric Bieniemy got that interview that everybody was wondering would he get the interview or not. But the key ingredient is this. A lot of these coaches that have been offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, or assistant coaches, whatever have you, that has had a prominent position within an organization before trying to move on to become a head coach at another organization, they know what's needed as far as helping to build the team that they're looking to build to become a winner. Everyone has a system. So with that system, you're looking to get those players to fit the system that you have in order for it to succeed. And if you don't have those players, guess what? Basically, all you're getting is a job where you got to sit back, shut up, and just do what they want you to do. And unfortunately, that's what happened here. Eric Bieniemy went in there. He wanted control over his player personnel. Well, guess what? You got a brand new general manager just got put in there that was hired from the New England Patriots. Everybody looks at the New England Patriots as that is the golden standard of how you're supposed to run your organization. Guys, that's a bunch of bull jive. People need to get out of the fact, they got to get out of the habit of thinking that because somebody else did it a particular way and it worked, It's almost like walking a mile in my shoes. If you never walked that mile in my shoes before, you can never tell me how I should do things in a particular manner. And that's what's going on here. Guys, listen, the sad part about it is that a lot of these coaches, African-American coaches that is, that come into the NFL and they're wanting to become a head coach of an organization, they're not getting that just due. You know why? Because of the simple fact is the people that are already in place, they're not willing to give that coach control. They want to make sure that if something goes wrong, they have somebody else's ass that they can cover theirs with. And that is that's what's going on here. Unfortunately, head coach Cully, I feel bad that I have to use you as the example, but it's the honest to God truth. Guys, hey, look, this channel, my channel here, I'm going to give it to you directly, clear and plain. I'm done with trying to, skirt around stuff and go around the mulberry bush and come back and try and make people feel comfortable about what's being said. The heck with that. We're going to be honest with what's going on here, guys. And this is what's happening. Too many of these coaches, they understand what's going on. They've already looked at the landscape of what they have as far as players that's going to be there for them in that organization come the next season. And they know what they need. And these GMs, these owners, they refuse to do it. Hell, we can look at Jerry Jones right now. And I mean, that's a prime candidate of exactly what I'm talking about as well. Jerry Jones feels that he knows everything that's going on with the NFL, and he don't. Yes, Jerry, you had daggone, what's my favorite? You had Switzer. Barry Switzer as the head coach. You had Jimmy Johnson as the head coach. And what happened? Those guys knew how to get the most out of the talent that was there. And what did you do? As soon as they started winning, you got their behinds out of there. Why? Because they didn't agree with where you were coming from. They wouldn't bow down and kiss your tail. And guess what? That is the problem that's going on with the Houston Texans right now. That's why Deshaun Watson went out of there, because he knows and he's seen it firsthand exactly what you guys are doing. You're putting people in place that are incompetent and don't have the wherewithal or the ability to do the job, but because they're my friend and they are so good to me and they help me through rough times, I'm going to give them this job. And guess what? You're blowing up your daggone program. Matter of fact, you want another? I'll give you one that's not even in the state of Texas. Look at the Detroit Lions. Matter of fact, they hired what's the coach? What is that coach name? They hired that coach from he wasn't even the offensive coordinator. Patricia. Matt Patricia, that was hired as the Detroit Lions head coach. What did that guy do? He came there, he talked bad about the players at every point he could. Why? Because he was trying to set the table to make it look as if, hey, the players are just not in here trying to compete. So he used that to cover his own behind. And guess what? Mama Ford, she bought that for a little while until the family came in and said, Mama Ford, you got to come on, you got to move on to the side, baby. We're going to come here and take over this. And now, guess what? Not only did they get rid of Matt Patricia, but they got rid of daggone Matt Stafford as well. So while the daggone Rams thinking that they got the next thing smoking with Matthew Stafford over there as a quarterback, we'll see if he can stay healthy for a full season. But until next time, guys, hey, listen, I'm just trying to get you to understand. It's time to call a spade and stop playing this game like we really don't know what's happening. Guys, for the longest, these NFL owners have been dealing from the bottom of the deck, the middle of the deck, or they trying to go ahead and throw some blinders up, or better yet, they trying to have you play 52 pickup, and you just pick up whatever cards you can to try and build your hand, and you still ain't going to win. So, coaches, I'm going to tell you right now, all my African-American coaches, if you're looking to become a head coach if you're looking to become a head coach for a NFL team, you're going to have to just shut up and go in there and coach with what they have and hope they give you the players that you need in order for you to succeed. It's a damn shame that's the way that the game is being played, but at least you got one person that's standing here and willing to tell you the daggone truth and not blow smoke up your behind. And if you know a coach out there that's willing to come back and debate and say, hey, coach, nah, that ain't quite true, then let's talk about it. And I want somebody to prove it wrong, because this is what we're being shown. And it's being shown the same way to these daggone players. But until next time, guys, if you like the content, please like, share, subscribe. That's right. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. Follow us on social media. The links are listed down below in the description. And remember, guys, be the one and lead.